And it is divided into three main flow. One flow is called the Ida, other is called the Pingala, and the central flow is known as the flow of Sushumna. Now, incidentally, the spinal cord is also termed as Sushumna because the vital flow of the Sushumna and the nervous system, the central nervous system, which is situated in the spinal cord, is also the Sushumna. Both are actually existing at the same place. From the point of view of medical science, when the central nervous system in the spinal cord is active, it manages the functions of the whole body, and in language of vital energy flow or the science of vital energy, we say that when the consciousness is concentrated in the Sushumna, we bring about the balance between the two other flows of vital energy, which are known as Ida and Pingala. Ida and Pingala are autonomically controlled by ourselves in the sense that we don't know which part of energy flow is necessary at which time. Sometime our flow of Ida is playing the major role and the Pingala becomes a minor one. Other times the flow of the other side, that is Pingala, becomes more dominant, more active, and the other, that is the Ida, becomes at rest. So in this way, there is an autonomous control of Ida and Pingala both going on, and when there is a balance between the two, that is when a person becomes more and more introvert. Then there is a balance between Ida and Pingala, the both flows, and there is a sort of equanimity established in our consciousness, in our self, and that is the main idea or the main aim a spiritual practitioner wants to attain. Whenever your energy flow is inside the Sushumna, where the balance of Ida and Pingala takes place, that is, you are situated or you bring your own self or consciousness in a equanimous state. You know, equanimity is ultimately the most desirable state of our consciousness, in which we become completely free from all likes and dislikes, all hatred and attachment, all rag and dvesh. This is the most desirable state for a spiritual practitioner. So whenever you can bring your conscious mind concentrated on your Sushumna, it starts working, and that means that you are having the state of complete equanimity. In this way, from the point of view of science of vital energy, we can understand the importance of our practice of Antaryatra. Now when we interpret this both, that is the scientific version and the version of the Prana Vigyan, that is science of vital energy, we can say that in the science of spirituality, a person who lives in the worldly life has to become introvert from the point of view of spiritual development, and even while living the life in the external world, he must have his inclination more and more directed towards the internal existence. The external existence of the world is only necessary for the worldly affairs and the life and activities which are related with the external world. But actually a spiritual practitioner wants to make his own self more and more introvert and to come into contact with his own internal phenomena of consciousness and of karma or the bondage which are taking place inside the soul or the self, and then he tries to resolve or become free from those bondages. For that he has to concentrate himself more and more on the internal existence, and this exercise of antaryatra is exactly a process through which a person becomes more and more introvert. So from all these 3 points of view, that is from the point of view of physiology, from the point of view of prana vigyan, and from the point of view of spiritual science, this exercise of antaryatra is very important exercise. In this exercise, when we practice it more and more, we find that automatically there is a change in the direction of our attitude. All our attitudes which were formerly extrovert or which were concerned about only the external things, external world, material world, now slowly and gradually we become introvert, and then we give more importance to our internal world in comparison to our external world. When a person becomes introvert, gives more importance to his internal existence, then as a matter of fact, he is not involved in the controversies of the external world which takes place every time. Because the bondage of karma is mainly due to your involvement in the external world. Either you have got the attachment for certain things or you have the aversion for certain things. This kind of attachment and aversion that goes on every moment, and the more bondage is incurred, karmic bondage becomes more and more profound, and then that becomes the hindrance in the development of your own self, of your own spirit. So for spiritual development, we have to become free from the attachment and aversion which we do in our external world. So for making our mind or our chitta psyche more and more equanimous, we must enter inside and become free from the controversies or the confusions or the reactions of the external world. For this, we have to practice this internal trip in our Prakshadhyan meditation system. So you can understand the technique, what is the technique, how it is to be practiced, and why it is to be practiced. The result of internal trip is very, very beneficial for a spiritual practitioner. He can develop the right view, which is the first condition for becoming the spiritual practitioner. If your world view is perverted, it is wrong, it is false, then it means that whatever you do for your spiritual development will not go further. So to make your view correct, to attain right view, right world view, one has to become introvert, and this exercise helps a lot for a spiritual practitioner to a spiritual practitioner, and he attains the right worldview through which he can then understand the exact nature of his own self and the relations of his self with the external world. Of course, he will live in external world, but because of his becoming more and more introvert, because of his attaining the right view, he will give importance only to the internal world and not to the external world in which he is going on indulging in attachment and aversion. So this is the way how a spiritual practitioner gets the benefit from the practice of internal trip. Then there are also other benefits which he can accrue from this. The development of extrasensory perception or knowledge, which is called ESP in science of parapsychology. This kind of attainment also is possible to be gained through the practice of internal trip. So in this way, the internal trip is very important from the spiritual practitioner. And then when we talk about the other benefits, we can say that because the nervous system is the most important controller of all our activities of the body, when we practice internal trip, the nervous energy which is spent in our nervous phenomena is increased because of the vital flow being concentrated in our central nervous system. Another thing is the vital flow is usually directed only in the downward direction in our external worldly affairs. Whenever we are concerned only with the external worlds, only with the impulses and the emotions which are negative, the flow of vital energy is directed downwards. When we practice internal trip, we try to reverse the direction of the energy flow and make that energy flow to go upwards. So during this process, that is the internal trip, whenever we take our mind from the Shakti Kendra to Gyan Kendra, that is from center of energy to center of knowledge, together with that our consciousness, the vital energy flow goes from the center of energy upwards towards the center of knowledge or center of wisdom. All the psychic centers which are situated in the upper part of the body, they get more vital energy, they become more strong, and because they have got the controlling powers, the psychic centers which are situated at the top of the head, that is center of knowledge, the center of peace which is situated in the front part or the middle part of the brain, then Jyoti Kendra, which is the center of enlightenment, which is situated in the middle of the forehead, and the Darshan Kendra, that is the center of intuition or perception, which is situated in between the eyebrows. All these centers are very important psychic centers, and we must develop the power of these psychic centers for controlling our emotions and for making them free from the negative feelings or the negative types, so that our life becomes free from negativities.